Yeah. With a million podcasts out there, we're grateful you chose toilets to titles. We give fantasy football advice to get your crap team to the finals. From Nate's cousin Eddie Persona and his unapologetic love for Chubb and Justin's hatred for Chris Ballard, our show is as good as a belly rub. Mark is the best of the NFC West, putting down Penguin Pete with his love for the Rams. Grab a whiskey or a beer, we're glad you're here. Welcome to the family. We're playing for gibberish and rambling. We have recent news and games of the week. We talk PPR and weekly streams. Start 'em and sit 'em, keep 'em or quit 'em. Hit the like and sub buttons for the fellas. Got any suggestions? Just tell us.
All right. So, welcome back to Toilets to Titles. Oh, I didn't even mean to do the all right thing there. So, apologies to the memory of Coach Sheps. Hopefully, you're watching this eventually. But no, I threw that out there as kind of a way to break the ice with the new inside joke that will be a part of the new intro song eventually. So that's from the Expo, guys. If you really want to understand the inside jokes, you got to come to Canton. It's like I always say. What happens in Canton stays in Canton. But Mark, I'm not sure that everybody.
Apparently not.
I'm not so sure that everybody that went to Canton is going to be able to keep this one in, but we'll see. I'm not going to tell the people what it means.
No, not at all. I mean, just blast it right on the screen right there, you know?
That doesn't mean that everybody knows what it means. Nate, I'll tell you later. All right, so we have the mini mock, the last of our mini mocks. We're doing the AFC North and NFC North for just like a best ball style setup, only drafting those players. I wore the Vikings hat. Really, honestly, the Packers are my NFC team. I just wore it just to throw a little shade over there towards my man Nate. Nate, you had a busy night tonight. How's it going, buddy?
Good. Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't get to hang out with you guys in Canton all weekend. I was shingling my new garage. I'm still very sore, and it's been like 3 days. So it was a long weekend. Not nearly as much fun as you guys had.
Oh, yeah, I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Mark, how much fun did we have?
We had a blast. All I'm going to say is go to Canton. Go to Canton, go to Canton, go to Canton. You have to go to Canton.
Yeah, that's it. Like, so I had my list here so that I wouldn't forget anybody. I want to throw out a lot of huge thank yous. My son Peyton went with us. Jason and George from Break from the Grind, obviously donating a couple of awesome jerseys at Traylon Burks, and then the DeAndre Swift jersey that I still haven't gotten sent out to our winner there. But Genesis, Dina, and David were there with their Genesis card breaks as a part of our team. Of course, you, Mark, and Iceman. My sister and my brother-in-law, Sam and Brittany, with their son, Gavin. Gavin was a huge help in the little time that he could be with us. And anytime that you see a cute little kid like that, he is a freshman in high school, but he still looks like he's in 5th grade. So anytime they see a little cute kid like that, they give us free stuff a lot. So, which, Mark, you didn't need help in that department. I'll let you talk about that in a minute. But then we had Aaron St. Dennis for the FF Mad Scientist and his girlfriend were there in one of our houses. We got Jerry Bagshaw, who may or may not be in the comments because he is in there a lot, Patreon supporter. He met up with us, and we got to see him, hang out with him for a little bit. That was a great time. Laquan Jones from the NFL Network, Rich, our man, Frito Bandito, with his son Keegan. They showed up for like 1.5 of the days, like not even that much, probably like maybe 1.5 full days, and still was busting it and helping us out and carrying stuff. Rich was working that booth, man. Like he knows Frank inside and out, so it was a good guy to have behind that booth. But and then Samwise, you guys know him as Samwise on Twitter, was there. We had a huge group. Johnny Christoffi was a newer guy. Unfortunately, I only got to meet him for a brief moment at the expo itself, but yeah, we had a huge group at the B&Bs. That's just a quick thank you to all of those that were out there. and all those that supported Toilets to Titles, and it doesn't even touch the ice for all the people that have shown huge support that wasn't in one of our houses. But yeah, so had a great time. We appreciate all the support and the love, and we can't wait until next year. But yeah, let's get into the news. So there was a lot of decent news over the week that we were gone, but most of it I kind of feel like is already played out for most of our community because most of us were already at the expo talking about it. But we do have some big injuries just in case. So I want to kind of discuss those real quick. Rondell Moore of the Falcons, he's now on IR, gonna miss the season. That was upsetting. A lot of people had high hopes, myself included, for him to have a little bit of a breakout season, at least by Rondell Moore standards. And I felt like he was going to be a flexible guy week in and week out that you were going to get for cheap. Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions, turns out it's just a hamstring. He should return soon. Soft tissue injury in the preseason. You hope they sit him out for a little while and just kind of let that thing heal up. Hollywood Brown for the Chiefs, shoulder injury, out 4 to 6 weeks. The backup quarterback for the Vikings, and that's Mark's J.J. McCarthy, backup quarterback for the Vikings, knee surgery, but he is expected to be ready to be the backup by week 1. And then T.J. Hawkinson of the Vikings is the most recent update there. Could miss 3 to 7 weeks to start the season. I also noticed on ESPN under the injury updates that the entire Saints roster is limited or questionable at this point. And no, that's not a shot at them. They just are really legitimately injured, but also they do suck, and I would probably want to be questionable on that roster as well. So that's it for the injuries. Guys, did I miss anything big there, or maybe any contract disputes that have had any recent news that I'm missing other than the one we're about to talk about in the moment?
Big one, Chase Claypool, IR, season ender. I know he was really flying up the draft boards. I saw that play, I started laughing.
Yeah, he was flying up from like the 22nd round to the 20th, maybe.
I was thinking like 32nd round, maybe he'd be worth a shot.
Wherever it was.
Season ending, though?
Yeah.
For sure?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
they
didn't.
It said a move that could sideline him for the whole season.
Yeah.
They
just brought him on. I'm surprised they wouldn't just cut him if that was the case. But maybe they like him for the future. The only thing I was going to say was with the Ayuk thing is the last I heard from a few people, they were saying that the contract negotiations between the Steelers and Ayuk were going pretty good. So they think that something's going to get done. Because that's the last part of it.
I saw an update about 6 or 7 hours ago that said that as well. And the reason it suddenly is now becoming something that looks good is I guess they're making it a pretty long-term deal for Ayuk. So he's looking to be able to make bank for a long period of time, which doesn't matter because in 2 or 3 years, he's just going to sit out for a new contract anyway. So I don't understand why such a big deal, but it is what it is, unless they're going to front load it for him to back up that Brinks truck. But
real quick, would you rather have Ayuk at let's say it's going to be like 30 million or 32 million, or like Nico Collins at 24 million?
Oh, definitely Nico.
Yeah,
I love Nico.
There you go. It's that easy. Ayuk's not a top 5 receiver in the league. He shouldn't get paid as one. Whatever.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to go out and get Nico though. Like
I know that. I know that. I'm just saying like an example of a guy. Is what I'm saying. And I don't really think they're the same guy. Just more like money wise is like my question, I guess I would say.
Yeah, but to Justin's point, like the way the leagues are going with the contracts and everything, if you want a very good receiver, you're going to have to pay more than he's worth. Just like quarterbacks. Every time a new quarterback gets paid, they're not worth that much amount of money. But if you want to keep them, you got to do it.
I think Ayuk's great. He's not that great.
Yeah, I agree. But also it's supply and demand. So do they spend $32 million for him now, or do they spend nothing and just stick with Van Jefferson as their wide receiver 2 and Calvin Austin III as their slot back or their slot receiver? Like, you pay $32 million and all of a sudden you actually have a pretty good receiving squad. And I know Roman Wilson's there, but we're still waiting on him to, kind of mature and be ready. And maybe that's this season, but maybe not. But even if it is, then you have George Pickens, Ayuk, and Roman Wilson.
They're not paying a quarterback, so I don't even know if they got a guy who can throw him the ball, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true too. You know, pay $32 million to get an actual quarterback instead of paying $32 million each for non-quarterback or whatever it is they're paying. They're not paying them $32 million. I'm just saying.
I think it's about $2 million.
But I think it's the Broncos that are still paying Wilson $32 million for him to play for another team.
Yeah,
that's how bad he was. All right, so that's pretty much it for the news. We're already at let's see, almost 10:30 in the evening here, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this draft again. Best ball format. If you haven't seen the last 3 episodes, Nate, Mark, and myself are dropping $20 on each of these just for shits and giggles to see what happens. We are drafting only from the players that are in the NFC North or AFC North, and we are starting this many players down here, or drafting and starting. We're drafting or starting everything we draft. It's 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 5 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends. That's what we're going to draft. And Nate, you're first up. I did the random wheel just between you and me, Mark. Is like for you and for me for our divisions. I gave I'm an AFC South guy. So for the South, I gave myself the first pick, and for the West, I gave you the first pick. I gave Nate the first pick here. I did the random wheel 3 times, and it gave me the second pick all 3 times. But I didn't want to hear you bitch about it again, so I gave you the 2 spot, and I'm going to take the 3, and we'll go from there. So, so Nate, you are first up on the clock, my man. What do we got?
Well, there's I feel like this has to be probably the best sets of quarterback. I feel like is why it seems like there's a lot of talent. But I think that doesn't matter. Give me Lamar Jackson. I'll start with quarterback I have been. Give me another MVP season.
You teased us.
I love Lamar. Can't stop.
Yeah, can't stop, won't stop. All right, Mark.
All right. This guy is my 3rd overall in all of redraft, so I'm gonna take him. Jamar Chase.
That's who I thought about first, actually, was him.
All right, so I've got a tough decision to make here, just because wide receiver isn't really very fully loaded in this division. If you notice, like there's a whole lot of really good guys, like a whole lot of wide receiver 2s. There aren't a whole lot of wide receiver 1s that I'm seeing. Kind of feel like maybe I can hold off on that, but if I wait, then I'm definitely going to miss out on the top end. Again, I also agree that there's a decent number of startable quarterbacks here, but one position that I do think that I could go right now, I could go hard at this position and then really hurt you guys for the rest of the draft, is tight end. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to double up on the tight ends. I'm going to take Sam Laporta and Mark Andrews, just to see what you guys do with that position moving forward.
I like it.
Wow.
Yeah, we got that. We got PPR. I feel like the fantasy points they could get potentially could be better than almost every single wide receiver that's left on this list, except the 2 obvious ones.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say much here because I want to see where you guys go after this, but I'm going to take St. Brown, and that's all I'm going to say.
See, I give everything away. All right.
I will take where'd he go? I just lost. I was trying to look and I can't see. I'll take Derrick Henry. I think he's going to just continue to do Derrick Henry things. I like him. Sorry, Mark. I like him a lot in Baltimore. And then I don't care who the quarterback is. Give me Justin Jefferson. I can't let Mark get all 3 of those guys, so I had to take it. I had to take it.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad you did.
Or not, but I couldn't let him have them.
I'm glad you did. We would be hurting for sure if he had all 3.
Damn it. See, I really thought about going Derrick Henry with the second round, my second pick. That's why I didn't want to say much, because I feel like there's very limited. I feel like there's very limited running backs that we have right here. So
yeah, Derrick Henry and Amon-Ra would have been my 2 if I didn't want to play this game to see what you guys did at tight end later.
I got a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's to wait.
Yep. I'd love to take Darnell Washington if they'd actually use him as a tight end. Sure. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm going to veer from my strategy just a little bit here, and I'm going to take Joe Burrow just to give me the Chase Burrow connection here.
All right, there you go. By week 8, he'll be able to sling that ball about 10 yards down the field. Very good.
By week 8, you'll be out of this competition, and you won't have to worry about it.
Not if my monsters are staying healthy, man. Let's see. Okay, so I'm good to wait a little bit there. All right, so not gonna let you. You know what? I'm just gonna make things easy, really easy for you guys for this whole thing. And I'm going to take both of my quarterbacks as well. So I'm good on quarterback. I'm good on tight end. All I have to do is go running back, wide receiver from here on out. You guys could theoretically wait until the end to get the rest of your quarterbacks and tight ends. You're only just pitting against each other for the scraps that are left. I'm making this draft easy for all of us. So you're up, Mark.
Okay.
Also, I didn't want Nate to end up with Jordan Love.
Yeah, come on. I do have a trade. I got more info on my trade. I got to ask for the end of the show. So when we get there, I'll do it. I get 2 trades sent about it. I don't think I'm taking them, but
nice. Nice. Yeah, we love to talk trades.
Absolutely. So here I am going to go. Let's take Josh Jacobs.
Hell yeah.
Yep. That was the next running back I was considering there. All right.
So
Nathaniel.
Whoa. There's still some good stuff here. I'll take DJ Moore though. After he got paid, I don't know if Justin's a big DJ Moore guy. And I've always been a big fan of DJ Moore. So, and I don't know who is going to start out of these quarterbacks that are left now that you look at that, except Caleb Williams. So thanks for doing that to me. So come on down, Mr. Fingernail Polish and man purse thing you carry around. Did you see that big double bag he was carrying on Hard Knocks? It looked like a bowling ball bag from like 1975. It was quite the bag.
I did not see it. Quite the bag.
He's starting though. So like I said, I don't know what else is going on with these guys. Like McCarthy's looked good, but so did Sam Darnold. So and who knows what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. So. And I can't take Watson.
No.
That dude stinks.
Karma has bit him hard.
All right. So here, a little tricky because I feel like I don't feel like it's worth grabbing a tight end here. There's still a bunch of just guys. So why don't we double up at running back here, and I'll go with Aaron Jones.
Yup. All right. And you said
I'm going to double up, but yeah. Being my second running back in a row.
I was hoping that you thought you were on the end. I was waiting for you to say the other one, and I was going to take him.
I like that move.
All right. So I just
want to clarify, though, the reason, and I think you're going to grab him right now because you highlighted it, but Jahmyr Gibbs, like normally would be above both of these guys, but I get nervous with soft tissue injuries. And I know they're different for everybody, but they tend to linger throughout the season, and it just scares me.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I feel like with my first 2-round picks, I don't really need to draft the rest of this and still win it. So my tight ends are going to win this for me. So,
I mean, what did you juice the tight end scoring and not tell us, or what's going on?
This is the only tight end premium one is the NFC.
I know. Every other one's normal. Tight ends in this division get 5 times per reception.
Yeah.
No, man, this isn't
premium times 4. It's something new we're trying.
This isn't Frank Monster Card rules, but I will say that we have like a ton of these Frank Monster cards still left. I think I have about 100 of them left. So we have like complete sets still left of the complete Frank Monster cards. And I mean, I spent a decent amount of money for them because that was our swag bag item for the expo. So if you guys want to send us, let's say, I think at cost, I'm all in at about, I think it was like $8 for a deck of 25. So if you want to send me, say, $12 plus shipping, that way, we make a little bit on the top there so that we can help fund some of the Frankenstein free entries and hopefully maybe some more fun stuff for Canton next year. Reach out to me at Toyless Titles at JustinFF_. If you want a complete deck, feel free to do that. We also have our Patreon that you can support us at patreon.com/toylesttitles. Now's the time to start getting in on the Patreon, especially if you want those waiver wire episodes every Monday after Monday Night Football. We put out the waiver wire episode before the rest of your teams or the rest of the teams in your league starting to try to think of waivers the next day. You're already putting in for your waivers. And of course, don't forget to check us out real soon on the Sunday morning show, Title Time, our start sit show, Sunday mornings, where we're going to give you all the start sit advice that you need all season long. So I believe that's typically mostly a Jason and George thing. I don't know who all else is going to be on there. I know I usually get on there about 2 out of 3 weeks or so. But yeah, we're excited about the season coming up, guys. It's only just begun. Okay, so where are we at? I need 2 more running backs. Mark needs 1 and Nate needs 2. I feel like another running back or 2 might be coming off of the board here pretty soon. I'm not confident that this guy's even going to be the best guy on his own team, but I feel like he's going to get enough solid, steady work that I can go ahead and take him now and at least know that I'm going to get consistent numbers week in and week out. So I'm going to go Najee Harris.
Yep.
All right. And I'm going to draft the true number 1 wide receiver on the Chicago Bears, Keenan Allen.
Get out of here.
Keenan Allen.
That dude's freaking.
We already have the stuff in, so.
Yeah, we do. We got those side bets in. So, I mean, it was still, even as the true wide receiver 2 for the Bears, he's still going to have a decent season.
If they can protect him, Caleb, that is. Anyways, I had a plan and I just forgot what it was.
Yeah, no, I'll give you time to think about it because that's a fair point, Nate. Like Justin Fields looked like a crappy version of Justin Fields behind that offensive line. Now he's with the Steelers, and he's actually looking pretty decent right now.
Besides the 2 fumbles.
God, we're still trying to crown this guy after a couple of training camp.
Justin's not going to stop talking himself into Justin.
Telling you, he's got
his feet and hands don't
team
work
around
together.
him.
His feet and hands don't work together. It's time to give up. Just like Trey Lance, year away from me, year away. Let him throw the ball 41 times. He threw for like 180 yards. It's over.
Yeah, I'm okay. You can badmouth Trey Lance. That was never my guy. I'm just, like everybody was always a little bit down on DJ Moore all those years. You see how well he's paid off the last few years if you stuck with him, if you're a true fan. I'm just saying. I'm not a Bears fan. Just saying.
I know. I will take Chase Brown. I'm pretty sure he's going to be he's looked good. Mark,
explosive.
He went to school 2 hours away from me. I got to cheer for the guy. He looked really good in the first preseason game. Again, preseason doesn't count, but I think he looked good last year too. So I like him. And then I'll take my first homer pick with Romeo Doubs.
Ah, nice. Yeah, since I have Love, I was doubling up on wide receiver coming up, and I was thinking about which one. So Dobbs definitely would have been my first option there. Oh, I moved him around, so now
It's
they're
really
not all
hard to
up in the
pick
corner.
a Green Bay receiver for fantasy because it's like, I mean, you just never know. Because it feel like last year there was 5 guys at a time. It felt like, you know what I mean, and so.
Yup.
Nate, you're killing me, man. That was the one guy I wanted to walk out of here out of, and I didn't think I'd have to reach for him. Unbelievable.
I thought about taking him before, the time before. I'm feeling him.
All right, Mark.
Well,
I just said I'm doubling up on wide receiver. So I mean, if that helps convince you where you're going here, I promise I'm not lying.
and I promise you're not lying. I still don't believe you. So I'm going running back here.
All
I'm
right.
going back here, and I'll let you pick the last one at the end. I'm going to take David Montgomery. I feel even with Gibbs 100% healthy, he's still going to get his. And
Yep.
if the injury does linger, then Montgomery can become a league winner there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. And honestly, even with me having Gibbs, I was still going to consider Montgomery, not this time around, but the next if he was still there, if you guys went a different direction because of the fact that he's technically a backup. But I agree with you. He's definitely going to get his. But no, I did have every intention of doubling up on wide receiver. And believe it or not, my first one here is going to be a guy that I think in best ball formats is still going to average out as a low-end wide receiver 2 for 12-team leagues. And Jameson Williams, the dude is just looking absolutely phenomenal right now. And now I can wait for that other Packers wide receiver because I don't believe that Nate will take 2 of them. And I see other decent ones out there before the next one. So I don't believe that Mark even necessarily has one targeted right now. So I'm going to go for George Pickens because Justin Fields is going to hit him deep a lot.
I like it. I like it.
But see, I promise.
We got Sam in the chat saying Genesis can't hike the ball.
Oh, don't kiss up to Genesis. What did I say about? Was it just
me
thanking him?
He fumbled the snap twice because he's done.
Don't kiss up to Genesis though. Oh,
Yeah,
because he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah,
Steelers. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, no, I always said that Fields was better than we saw in Chicago.
Right,
so. Yeah. If anybody knows about people that suck, it would be Sam. So, all right. Let's see.
So,
Mark.
It's a tricky one here. I think I'm gonna grab Njoku here and at least get one tight end. I'm semi-happy with.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I can wait now since you did that. I will take. Zay Flowers and Amari Cooper.
Zay Flowers and Amari Cooper. And you sounded like you're sure about that.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's your 5 wide receivers. So.
I mean, I thought about just taking a couple more Packers, but I didn't, I just I better not.
Yeah, I kind of figured you probably wouldn't take 2 Packers wide receivers, but it would double up your opportunities of getting the right one each week.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like you still need 3 wide receivers, Justin, with 2 picks after me. So I think I'm going to have to go receiver here. And with the 3 that I started with, I'm going with upside here. And I'm going to go with Christian Watson.
Yeah.
Who knows who's going to be the receiver in Green Bay, but, I think he has the highest upside of all of them.
All right. So you can still take one more wide receiver. So I feel like with what's left out here, I mean, you know how I feel about T. Higgins. There's no way in hell I'm taking T. Higgins. So I'll leave that one for you. So I think that was probably your play. between Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks, like I feel like Wicks is that offseason darling, or that camp darling that everybody's talking about that may or may not even pan out. But I see Jaden Reed being out there in every single wide receiver 2 set. Like every time that the number 1 team is out there, he's on the field. So I feel like just being on the field with Jordan Love at quarterback, he's going to be a consistent, steady Eddie for me. So I'm going to go with Jaden Reed there. And I already know who I'm going to take for my 5th wide receiver, but Nate still needs a running back. So I need to look at running here. Now, again, I did say I don't know for sure if my league is going to do kick returns or not, but there's Cordarrelle Patterson there for that. DeAndre Swift, I don't understand why he's still out here and available, unless I'm missing some kind of an injury issue. I know that Nate's last running back is going to be Nick Chubb, so I could go that route and really piss him off. Najee Harris, I could double that up with Jalen Warren. If one goes down, then I've got a solid running back one. There's just a lot of options out there still left here, but at the end of the day, if I can piss off Nate, I have to do it.
You
so
son of a, why would you do that? Man,
I'm taking his.
I'm going home. That was my next pick.
All right, Mark, you need your last wide receiver, your last tight end, or your last quarterback.
Yeah. So before I make my pick, though, I got to ask you, you said you're surprised Swift is still out there.
Yeah.
Out of who we drafted, who would you have taken Swift over? I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know. The only one I look at is maybe Najee.
No, I mean,
and that's yours, so you shouldn't be surprised there.
I would take him over Montgomery or Chase Brown.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know Nate's done it wide receiver, so it's obviously tight end here for me. I like Musgrave a lot this year. I think Tucker Kraft's more of a blocking tight end, and he was banged up in the offseason here, so I think Musgrave's the pick here.
Yep.
Nothing to write home about, but with what's left, I'll take it.
Man, I don't pick anymore.
I mean, I honestly though with Swift, like he's got Khalil Herbert there, I guess. Like if we want to make him a thing again,
source, but not really. He's just a friend of mine that's a Bears homer. He thinks they're going to try to trade Khalil Herbert.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, what unless Swift gets hurt, when are you really going to play him over Swift?
that scrub Velus Jones they're trying to out at running back, and he stinks. But
he's hurt all the time anyway. Like I'm surprised that
he just fumbles all the time. That's all Velus Jones does is fumble. Give me Swift, whatever. And
whatever.
God, there's way too many Bears. Give me Cole Kmet, I guess. He's the only one that's like he's. I don't know. Sure.
There's way too many Bears. It's because we're at the end of the draft.
That's right.
I mean, if we really think that that all those wide receivers in Chicago are going to do something, then we have to believe that Caleb Williams is going to do something. And if we believe that all of that's going to happen, then that means that Swift has to do something in that offense. Colt Kmet's going to get some of that feedback. Like, I don't understand why people are so down on the Bears offense. I get the offensive line sucks and Caleb is a rookie, but I mean, we're talking late round fantasy football, even in this draft. So imagine like your 12-team leagues, Bears players are all going in the final rounds, except for those wide receivers just keep going higher and higher, and everybody else keeps going lower and lower. And it's just I just don't understand the fall, I guess.
We don't got enough time for me to talk about it. So
you've been talking about the Bears fall since I was going to say since their last Super Bowl, but I don't think that you were alive. Oh wait, no, they did lose to the Colts in the Super Bowl.
I wasn't alive when they won. No.
Yeah. All right, Mark, where you at? You got your quarterback and your wide receiver.
Yeah, I hate to give you any credit, but you did read me like a book. I'm 1,000% taking T. Higgins over Christian Watson, but I knew there was no way you were taking him, so
Yeah,
I
no
left
way.
him for the end. So yeah, give me Higgins.
Yeah, it's never Higgins.
I'm on your T. Higgins jersey on, Mark. I knew you're a big guy, big T. Higgins guy. I only say that because I know Justin. That might be Justin's most hated NFL player.
Right?
Yeah,
No, his most hated
It's
NFL
up there.
player is the next player I'm going to draft.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So I can only take 2 wide receivers. So with that being said, I think we can look at this list and we know of at least one guy that I'm higher on than most. Yeah, I'm sure you guys could probably guess.
Nelson Aguilar.
No.
Oh, he's the true one.
You're not.
Oh, I absolutely am.
Oh,
I absolutely am.
God.
Yes.
Nate,
yes,
we
I
got
am.
this one locked. Like
What? I'm so
he can play with his tight ends and
I'm
be
so
by himself. You know?
I'm so confused.
Jerry
Yeah.
Jeudy.
Ugh. Why are we confused about Jerry Jeudy?
I think he's got about 4 catches more than I do in his NFL career.
All right. So
I want him to be good. Believe me, I do. He was awesome in college, fun to watch. It's just like I mean, I feel like we're at the point now. It's like if we don't do it this year, we're not doing it.
So Jerry Jeudy does his best work deep down the field, and since Jameson Williams has gotten his new eyes, he loves to throw deep down the field. Even if Williams throws 3 interceptions, it's not going to affect Judy's numbers.
cares?
So I'm all for
fly.
it. So
Jerry Jeudy definitely does his best work deep down the field, way down the field, like off the field, in the locker room, in the bathroom.
all right, you guys laugh it up, but you'll see. All right, and then I'm going to go Rashad Bateman because why the hell not? We've got the human predator down there for Mark already. That one was to be expected because Mark doesn't care.
No, I want to win.
Okay, so you want me to put Fields in there then?
No.
Yeah, what the hell?
I just said I want to win.
Fields.
Huh?
What's that?
I'm surprised Justin didn't take Fields. You've been
Well, you guys gave me Love and Goff. Like I'm not going to take Fields over them.
You took them 3rd and 4th pick.
I would never have drafted Jared Goff.
Okay. So I'm not confident that Goff's going to have as good of a season as he's had the last couple of years necessarily, but I do think at the start of the season, at least, he's going to tear it up. I mean, I've got the stack with Laporta. I mean, if I win the first 4 weeks in this one, it's all golden from there for me.
Goff does have a lot of dome games this year outside of Detroit, so
I will.
That should help him.
Talking about the Predator, if he can play like he did like 3 years ago, money in the bank. But I don't know. I think he forgot to play football because he hasn't played for so long. So he used to be fun to watch. Now I just think he's a scumbag. I was going to take Isaiah Likely in case Andrews got hurt, but I'll take Mr. Tucker Kraft mac and cheese. I got to get at least one more Packer on my team. There were like random games where he would not block and score a couple touchdowns. He had a big one against the Cowboys. I think I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, to be honest, with some of the stuff. It seems like some days they want to have 2 tight ends out there. Sometimes they don't. Musgrave was hurt previous to coming to Green Bay. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt, but if he does, I may beat a couple touchdowns out of Kraft mac and cheese. That's
As
what
a Packer fan, you take Musgrave over Kraft, though?
Yeah. For now, I don't know. I've seen some catches in training camp, and of course, like I said, it's training camp. But some pretty good catches in coverage. That I wouldn't expect him to make. I think they're both capable, but like you said, I think Musgrave's got a little more speed, maybe, and is definitely the tight end 1.
Hey, Justin, throw this next comment up real quick.
We got the Bayou Bengal Fantasy Network. Hey, we actually saw them at Canton. So
yeah, this guy, this is his first time in watching a podcast.
Oh, right on.
No,
Awesome.
it's an inside joke. He was in the poker tournament, cleaning up at the poker tournament. He's like, I've never played a game of poker before. This is my first time ever playing poker. We're like, yeah, okay.
Actually, I've seen him in the chats before, so I know you're joking about the.
He's got a sweet logo.
No, that was just an inside joke from the expo.
I need a Bayou Bengals sticker for my hard hat at work. That's a sweet looking logo.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I got a nice little bathroom board bet for you guys here. So, because both of you were just spending way too entirely long talking about two crap tight ends in Musgrave and Kraft. I'm not, and I don't think that they're going to be crap over their careers. Don't get me wrong, I really don't. But I also believe that the Hawkinson injury isn't going to be quite as long as a lot of people. They're projecting between 3 to 7 weeks at this point. And it seems like that timeline just keeps getting a little bit less and a little bit less. Plus, Hawkinson is an amazing tight end. So once he's out there, I give him a week or two to get his feet back under him a little bit. But I feel like Hawkinson by the end of the season will outscore Musgrave and Kraft combined.
I thought you were going to say all 4 of our tight ends, and I was going to say you're probably right. And I wasn't going to take that.
Well, I you know what? I'll throw Komet in there too, but I can't throw in Njoku in there too because he had too good of a season last year. So
there's no way.
I'll take that bet. No.
Yeah,
you're getting both of them combined.
Even if you just do Kraft,
you have some inside information the whole world doesn't know because
I just
back by.
Well, I just see. I think that he's probably going to be back by about weeks 3 or 4, give or take. I think we'll know for sure in the next week or two because they have to make the decision on the PUP list or not. So if they don't activate him to the PUP, they're not going to want to use up that roster spot for more than 6 weeks. If they can easily just put him on the PUP and save that roster spot. So we'll know for sure in the next week or two, but I think it's why it's interesting to make the board bet now. But I think it's going to be less than the 6 weeks. And I'm guessing probably closer to about 3 weeks, maybe that he actually misses. Weeks 4 or 5, he's trying to get his legs back under him. He's still not going to be the same as he was last year, but I just with all the wide receivers there, they don't need Musgrave and Kraft to be great receiving tight ends. So for fantasy purposes, I feel like it's going to be Hawkinson there.
Yeah, I'll take that board bet.
Yep.
Looking right now, I see a note that ESPN reporter Dan Graziano, I don't know if I said that right. Graziano, yeah. He says he could be out until early November.
Sam's got Mark with the W here, so he's still drunk from Canton.
Sam knows what's up.
Sam's still drunk from Canton, so actually we can't say that. He's probably already been to work a couple of times. That man works like 17 jobs. Let's see who else we see. You got Nate. You talked about Isaiah Likely. That could have been a smart pick because I think they're going to start notching out more of a role, just a general role for him. I think they need to play him more at some kind of a wide receiving position. And I know it sounds crazy because he's huge compared to a wide receiver, but with the wide receivers they have there, like why not? He's fast. He can get down the field.
I feel like they're going to, I should have taken him over Tucker Kraft. I thought about it, but I didn't. I wanted to be a homer. I feel like they're going to run 2 tight end sets all the time in Baltimore.
As they should.
It just makes sense. Especially I said Lamar is money down the middle of the field. He struggles to the side, like the deep ball down the numbers. But if it's in between the hash marks, he'll hit you in the helmet every time. And
for what I'm about to say, don't hear what I'm not saying. Like, I think that you took Derrick Henry exactly where he should have went in this draft, in this format. And I do still think that he's going to be, a really solid running back for fantasy purposes as well. I don't have him in my top 10 though. And Isaiah Likely is a big reason why. I think with those 2 tight end sets and them trying to find a way to get him the ball in the red zone, he is every bit as good of a red zone target. Well, I don't want to say every bit as good, but he's really good, almost as good as Mark Andrews when it comes to the red zone. So they're going to have 2 big tight end options in the red zone as well. I'm not saying they're going to use Derrick Henry as a decoy necessarily, But if you're just only going to go to Derrick Henry inside the red zone constantly, you also have Lamar, who has his rushing threat inside the red zone. I don't see Derrick Henry getting the touchdowns that everybody thinks that he's going to get. That's why I don't have him in the top 10. But like I said, part of that is because of likely getting those extra bumps. So in later rounds in these 12-team leagues, don't be afraid to take Isaiah Likely, I think is what we're pretty much trying to say.
Yes.
What's a fair number for a bet there, Justin, on touchdowns for Henry? Because I think he's going to score a ton this year.
A ton.
Okay.
Let me take a look at something, and you guys think of another player to talk about. Why don't you guys talk about the wide receiver Andre Iosivas that's going to be taking over for T. Higgins by like week 8, and we're not going to see much of Higgins after that. So you guys talk about that, and I'm going to look up something.
I mean, if you want time to look up something, you don't give us that play because this is Higgins now. All right. No, but what about?
I'm pretty sure Jermaine Burton is the one you're talking about that's going to take over for T. Higgins.
Yeah,
as long as he can stay, keep in between, or keep his head clean off the field. He's a dog. So
they franchised him so that they could cut his ass after these two step up. So, all right. So you said a ton, Mark. So let's see his. His highest season, I don't think you want to go anywhere near touching that. That's 18 total touchdowns. Let's see, from the time that he actually started getting carries, his least number was 10. So we could half that and say 14 would be about in the middle. That's kind of like his median for the last 6 years.
So over under 13 and a half. Over under 13 and a half.
Yeah, I will absolutely take the under on that.
Yeah. I think he could catch his
DraftKings is 10 and a half, by the way, if you guys are curious.
It's what?
10 and a half at DraftKings.
All right.
My personal opinion is I feel they want to take the hits away from Lamar, and some of the biggest hits come in the red zone. And I think when you have the threat of Lamar running, how easily Henry can score by himself, when you add that threat of Lamar in there, is just going to make it that much easier. I think if he stays healthy, he's going to have a ton of touchdowns.
I also feel like they're going to want to take a different approach and a different angle with Derrick Henry. They are a good enough team to make the playoffs and even have a solid seed without Derrick Henry because they've been doing it for years, right? Now that they have Derrick Henry, they don't want a 67-year-old Derrick Henry going into the playoffs. So Keaton Mitchell getting healthy is crucial. If he's healthy and Justice Hill is there. Justice Hill will be more of the goal line backup to Henry as well. But I think Keaton Mitchell takes more of that between the 20s, even if it's like every third series or every fourth series, we see Keaton Mitchell. That keeps Derrick Henry off the field a little bit more. Kind of like a Travis Kelce thing, like they did with Kelce last year, where Kelce still did good. He did really good for fantasy, and he just didn't have one of his best seasons by any means. But come playoff time, Kelce was still Kelce, and they still won the damn Super Bowl again. But I kind of feel like they have that opportunity to do that with Derrick Henry. They don't need him to make the playoffs. They need him to win the playoffs. So that's all a part of my thinking, too, for why I have him outside of the top 10. Rich, what's up, homie? We talked about you at the top of the show.
What's up, Rich?
I swear this time it wasn't anything bad. Maybe next time. Let's see. What about AJ Dillon up there?
By the way, I don't know. Of course, looks great. Well, they say it every year. Last year, he's never been a big fantasy guy because, like I said, he comes there in the wintertime and he beats the hell out of you, but he averages like 3.2. You know what I mean? So it's nothing flashy for fantasy. And maybe things change this year. I don't think so. I honestly think Marshawn Lloyd's there to take his job. A lot faster. Got a lot more zip to him. But I'm staying away from those two guys. I'm fine. I'm good with taking Josh Jacobs at places. I have him in Scott Fishbowl, I think. But the other two, it's just, unless if it's late, sure. I'd probably take AJ Dillon first just because of the experience. But they're tough.
Yeah. If we could have gone 4 running backs, I probably would have went Jalen Warren, but I feel like he probably would have been taken from one of you guys before it got back to me. Another guy I would consider, since I have Nick Chubb, would be Jerome Ford,
Yes.
just because of the start of that season. And Ford is explosive. When he fills in, he does great. But also because Ford is one of those guys where you get him really late. He plays well for you for the first 3 or 4 weeks. Chubb gets back, you can cut him. It doesn't matter. Or you can hang on to him for in case Chubb doesn't come back to full health to 100% and they're splitting and he's going to still get some carries. Like you don't you don't have to you don't have to necessarily cut him, but if you do, you spent a late round pick on him anyway. So Ford's a good guy to get late as well. Let's see. There was another one Zach Moss technically still listed as the starter. Like these are guys that are like Frankenstein type of players where they're going to play well for you at the start of the season and you can use them to help get enough points to help you steal running backs that are going to be playing later on in the season as well. So just some strategy there for you Frankenstein players. We've got at least 2 starters still left at quarterback. We just don't know which ones they are. And then Jameson Williams, who will also be starting as soon as the human predator hits the skids. So a lot of options out there still left. Like I kind of feel like this is one of those late round value divisions. So
yeah, definitely. Hey, like I said, there's still I want Roman Wilson to succeed in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure what we'll get, but I'm intrigued by him. And Rome Odunze, I don't know. It's going to be hard to there's only one ball.
How about you, Justin? Are you way out on Odunze? And I'm not making fun of you. I'm just with taking Jerry Jeudy and leaving him out there. That kind of tells me you are way out on him this year.
For redraft, yeah, definitely. Because like I say, you have a rookie quarterback. And you know how I said at the earlier in the show, I said if everybody is all in on all of these 3 wide receivers, then you got to be all in on Caleb Williams. And if you're all in on Caleb Williams, what's wrong with Swift? Why is he falling back? Why is Kmet falling back? Well, I'm not all in on all 3 of those wide receivers. So I do think that Odunze is that third guy out for his rookie season. If you're a coach and you're coaching the Bears, you want to win, right? You want to win to save your job. But if you throw Odunze out there over Keenan Allen too often, or throw Odunze out there over DJ Moore too often and you lose, then you're going to look like an idiot playing that rookie wide receiver out there and benching the veterans. So you're not going to do that. So in 1 wide receiver sets, 2 wide receiver sets, we're not going to see a lot of Odunze. And when he is out there, he's a rookie wide receiver with a rookie quarterback with an unproven offensive line. It doesn't ring success to me. It's not something that I feel like we're going to see year one. He might have big games. Don't get me wrong. Like maybe in a true best ball format where we're not going overall, season end overall stats, like where maybe 3 weeks out of the year he has a huge 120 yards and a touchdown because he caught that 60-yard bomb, and maybe that happens. But no, for redraft purposes, I'm not touching Odunze at all.
Eberflus is 10-24 as head coach, so he is kind of not the smartest guy there is.
Yeah, well, that's fair too. Maybe Odunze plays quarterback. Rich, I think that's pretty fair.
No.
I think it's probably lower. I think I'd probably go closer to about 650.
I'm thinking like 5 1/4 and maybe 2 touchdowns.
All right, so we're gonna write down the over under at 749.5. We're gonna give Rich the over, and Nate and I are taking the under.
Yep.
I'm staying out. Just I don't have a real opinion on this one. I could see him going over, but I don't know. You have Allen and Moore monopolizing a lot of that, so I could see the other side too. I think it's a pretty fair number.
Rich, these days that is an easy number, but I don't know about for a wide receiver 3. When's the last how often do you see wide receiver 3s hit those numbers?
Jordan Love threw for over 4,000 yards last year, and not one receiver was over 800 yards. Just saying that.
And the other thing is if either of Allen or Moore get hurt, he's going to jump up big time.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel like because we're seeing Rich more and more in the chat. I feel like there's an opportunity we might be seeing him a little bit on Title Time Sunday mornings. Since we got him in the chat, I'm throwing out that little bug in his ear because I know Jason and George usually run it, but everybody loves Frito, so I'm sure they'll be reaching out to you, Frito. Because and the reason I say that is because and Mark, you saw it at draft night out. You saw Rich in action. Like Rich is a drafting king. So he also has some pretty good start sit advice as well.
I think he said he was ready to start streaming again too. So
yeah. I mean, he's wrong about
our Wednesday night show together.
Yeah. He's wrong about Odunze, but he's usually pretty good. Let's see.
I don't really an Aiden O'Connell guy, and the guard dog is definitely going to be starting week 1.
What's the most recent news on Jordan Addison? I know I heard something while we were at Canton. I don't know if they've updated any of that.
It's like Rashee Rice. They're just like, yeah, we'll just figure it out next year.
No, it wasn't that. I thought it was something else.
I thought they set his court date, but I can't remember when.
You ready for my trade question real quick?
Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. You answer it, and I'm going to keep looking for this. Or you ask it. And
so it's
answer your own damn question.
I'll answer it. It's still the Jordan Love keeper deal, but he offered me Justin Herbert and the 40th pick overall for Love, and they're both 12th and 13th round keepers. So the picks that wouldn't change. I'd just have Justin Herbert instead of Jordan Love. But the last 2 days that I thought about it, I was like, I just don't think I can get rid of Love at the 12th and 13th.
So with 40th overall, are there keepers in front of that? So it's not actually the 40th pick.
Correct.
What does the pick translate to be?
Yeah, it's the 40th spot, but there's also I'm not sure who's keeping what. So I mean, it would probably be higher up, but at the same time, obviously there's 30 guys that are being kept.
But are rookies involved in that too?
Yeah.
So I mean, if 30 guys are being capped and you have the 40th pick, you're getting the 10th overall rookie and Justin Herbert. I mean, that makes it a little more interesting,
It does. It's just I'm not sure what I feel more confident in Love's numbers this year than Herbert's. I don't know what we're going to get with Harbaugh, and it's kind of a ragtag bunch of receivers down there. I know people are thinking Quentin Johnston's going to have some big year. I don't know if he will. I don't think he will. But I don't know.
I kind of felt like it was going to be Quentin Johnston this year until I started to see Quentin Johnston go out there and continue to be Quentin Johnston. Quentin Johnston.
He's got hands like a digital watch.
Quentin Johnston hasn't forgotten that he's Quentin Johnston. So he's going to continue to be Quentin Johnston. And I've said that name enough, but also they keep bringing in running backs there. I just feel like Harbaugh's going to continue to do Harbaugh things and just run the football there.
They got a great offensive line. Why not? Just pound
it. and it makes sense in that division. You're playing against the Chiefs. How do you keep Mahomes off the field? You keep the ball. You run the ball. So you're going to want to build up that run style. And all these years that they've been trying to keep up with Mahomes, they've been trying to do it through the air. That's not going to happen. All that's going to do is get you fired. Harbaugh knows that. Harbaugh's a smart coach. So yeah, I think we're going to see a run-heavy offense yet again. Obviously, he's going to get his. Herbert's going to get some yards. He's going to have some games, but I mean, I feel like Herbert has to have his best games, his best seasons, to be able to keep up with what we're going to see from Jordan Love.
I hope so.
I got to take
the only
this
thing
damn
I'll
Vikings
mention there.
off.
The only thing I'll mention there, I get it with Harbaugh and all the running and what he likes to do, but people forget Harbaugh also was Andrew Luck's coach. And now Herbert is a lot closer to Andrew Luck than the other quarterbacks that Harbaugh has talk. So
hey, you see those? You see McCarthy out there? He's got a cannon. He just wouldn't unleash him. They also didn't need to unleash him, but he can do it.
I agree, but I don't want to talk about it because he's having knee surgery now, Nate.
They'll be back. He wasn't going to start anyways.
So. Yeah, I don't know. It scares me.
He wasn't starting.
I mean, Andrew Luck had Reggie Wayne and T.Y. Hilton. I mean, he had some pretty damn he had Hall of Fame wide receivers there. Like, that's not what Justin Herbert has. You know what I mean? And Rich is proving my point here. He thinks DJ Chark is going to be number 1, and then McCorkley is the number 2. Johnson is the number 4. Like,
that's probably right. Is Josh Palmer the other guy?
I feel like Brandon Stokely.
Brandon Stokely? I haven't heard that name in years.
Yeah, Brandon Stokely might have been his wide receiver 4, and he probably could have been Herbert's number 1.
Harbaugh didn't coach Luck.
No, not Harbaugh. Not Harbaugh. Andrew Luck. I'm saying Andrew Luck had those kind of targets throughout his entire career. I mean, I don't remember exactly which years they were.
Yeah.
What's that?
What about at Stanford? That's where Harbaugh coached Andrew Luck. Luck had great numbers at Stanford.
I see. Yeah, I don't know who his wide receivers were at Stanford. I don't watch college football because that shit's too slow and boring.
Did he have Toby Gerhart out there?
Toby Gerhart at Stanford?
Yeah. Wasn't he a
that
Stanford
makes
Cardinal?
sense. It makes sense.
Pretty sure.
Let's see.
I can't think of it. There's the super fast guy for the Chargers. I want to say it's Josh Palmer, but he's on the Broncos. Somebody like that. But not important. I'm keeping Love. I think it's a done deal.
Andrew, I mean, plus you were upset when I took Andrew Luck in this rinky-dink little league. Like, he's your guy.
Jordan Love. I was upset when you took Nick Chubb more than anything.
And I was upset when you took Chase Brown.
I mean, honestly, I was kind of upset when I took Chase.
Let's work a 3-way trade. Nate gets Nick Chubb, you get Montgomery to back up Gibbs, and then I get Chase Brown.
You're not swindling me out of Chase Brown.
And I'm trying to find Andrew Luck's roster at Stanford, because now you've got me.
Pretty sure Luck was first runner up to the Heisman that year, and Jim Harbaugh won the Coach of the Year that year.
Well, in total, Luck was he was the Offensive Player of the Year once and was the runner-up twice for the Heisman in total. He had a total of 82 passing touchdowns. Yeah, I just don't see a team roster. Oh, wait, this might be it.
Wide receiver, Corey Gatewood, Drew Terrell, Rollins Stallworth, Griff Whalen, Jeff Trojan, Keanu Nelson. Who are these guys?
I mean, it's Stanford.
There's about 37 running backs on the thing.
Coming out of Stanford.
John Flacco, Joe's long-lost brother.
Running back, Stephen Taylor, Owen Merchich.
Sam Knapp, Chris Uwasu. Oh, Colby
Ty Montgomery.
Hey, Colby Fleener was on that team.
Yeah, that's probably why he got the and Zach Ertz was at tight end there too.
Jordan Pratt. Oh, you said Ty Montgomery. Devon something. Can't say that name. Was Toby Gerhart not there? That's disappointing if he wasn't.
At least not in 2011. Here. I'll just look up Toby Gerhart. Oh wow, they do still have him on the internet machine. I remember one year I took, and if Sam's still watching, he can testify to this. I took Toby Gerhart in the 4th round one year whenever he was with Minnesota, when he was supposed to be the guy there after an injury. And then an injury to Adrian Peterson. Okay. So he was still with Luck then. That would have been Luck's junior year.
Wow.
But yeah, and then
Kobe Fleener had 3 touchdowns in the bowl game.
Dog.
And he got drafted because of it, probably.
Yeah, this guy's good.
He had 3 mediocre seasons with the Colts, and then went to I believe it was the Saints for a year or 2 as a backup, and he's probably some accountant somewhere. No offense, Simon. I just remembered you're an accountant.
Rude. I know, right? Like, why is that the go-to slam job?
Yeah, he's like a real estate agent or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he got drafted because of luck. I feel like we've talked enough about Stanford 2011.
It was just to prove a point that Harbaugh will throw the ball if he has the means to and needs to.
Yeah, I don't think he has the means or the needs with the Chargers personally. That's just me though. Oh wait, so then I guess that means that's a bathroom board bet. Let me check. Let me check my our standings out on toiletsandtitles.com.
The Packers are going to have to be. We're going to have to score a lot of points, keep up with the NFC North. Everybody's going to be. The offenses are all good. Granted, the defenses are better this year. I feel like all around, but we'll see.
All right, so let's see. Justin Herbert, I have him 11th. You have him at 7. So we'll call the cutoff at 9.5, or well, you just say top 10. So you think he's going to be top 10? I don't. Does that sound fair?
Herbert,
Justin Herbert.
That's fair.
All right, man, we got some good bathroom boards out of this,
for sure.
Or at least I do. All right. Yeah, I've got a redraft home league this week. Our friend Alicia and Andy, they run one. Sam will be in that with me, except he's got a draft via StreamYard since the man's always at work. But then the week after that, another home league redraft. My main home league. So we still got to finish up the Frank. Guys, if you're in the Frank live draft, I'm hoping to have that up and back going by tomorrow evening. So look forward to that. If you're in the Frankenstank Listener League, we're going to be starting the rock, paper, scissors contest to determine the draft order, maybe as soon as tomorrow. And some of the commissioners can get a hold of all their people and set it up how they want to set it up. We're going to be doing for both of you guys, since you're both commissioners, we're going to be doing a commissioners meeting on Sunday evening if you guys can make it. Not a huge deal, but that's when Coach is available. So he'll be there in the meeting. He'll be back from a vacation Saturday. So if you guys can't, then I'll just touch bases with you early next week or before that. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Frankenstank Listener League, where you can draft Freddie Krueger before Pat Mahomes. No other league like it. So see, anything else? Anything I'm missing?
No, I was just going to say I'm excited to roll out Michael Myers this year.
Yeah, I went with Ghostbuster. So we were both in the live draft. So Nate will be able to see. He'll have a little bit of an advantage, but then again, so will everybody else in his division to see how all the other monster cards went. But all the new monster cards, we have 8 new monster cards. We have 25 total to choose from on the MFL site. So hopefully I can start after these. I know it'll probably be too late by then, but I do still need to do the shorts for those monster cards and put them on the playlist. But you can check out the playlist on youtube.com/toiletsandtitles. Go to the Frankenstank playlist. All right, I think I've rambled enough. I'm ready to get out of here. Are you guys good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, let's get some sleep, fellas.
The guy playing with house money guys be here next week. Talk some win totals and season-long awards.
Is Prue a definite or?
Well, I don't know about that, but Iceman for sure.
Yep. Iceman for sure. All right.
Yep.
Didn't you say there were 2 bets? Or I mean 2 trades?
2 trades.
You said you wanted to talk about 2 trades. Oh, okay. All right. Right on. All right. Well, good night, fellas. Take it easy.
See you.